Hello my YouTube fam, I'm Kiana and welcome back to Kiana's Creative Closet. Today my loves, the video is what to wear when you're pear. So I'm going to be going over some things that are flattering on the pear-shaped woman, what flatters the body shape, and then we'll go over the shape and what makes a pear, their configuration, their body configuration. So if you think that's something you're interested in seeing, continue on watching. But before we jump into it, if you are new and you love fashion like I do, please subscribe down below, turn on your notifications so you can be notified every time I upload a new video. So my OGs, thanks girl, thanks. So let's hop into it. Okay my love, so first we're going to talk about how to know your shape. Now it's a lot of different charts online that you can go on and you can look over. Pictures and things will show you, but I'm just going to do a simple rundown. Pear-shaped woman has daintier shoulders. They normally have smaller or average size breasts. They are very tiny in the waist, a very defined pretty waist. We are larger in the hip area as well as bottom heavy. Just put it like that, bottom heavy. We have larger hips, larger thighs, and most of the time larger behinds. That is a pear-shaped woman. Sometimes people can get it mixed up with a hourglass woman. The difference between an hourglass woman and a pear-shaped woman is so similar, but the only thing that is different is our shoulder to hip ratio. So with a pear shape, your hips are always going to be larger than your shoulders. With a hourglass shape, your shoulders and your hips will match or almost match. Just it could be a little inch, a half of an inch, or you know, something like that off, but it's still, that tells you the difference. With a pear shape, it's always your hips are going to be larger than your shoulders. So that is a pear shape. We are bottom heavy women. You have your extremes and you have your normal kind of average pear shapes, but either way your hips are going to be a little larger than your shoulders. It doesn't matter if it's just 1 inch or it could be 2 inches. That's just how you will be able to tell if you are pear-shaped or not. Hourglass, the same thing as pear-shaped. They have very defined waist, small tiny waist. So people get confused and they'll think, oh, I got a really defined waist, a small waist, the booty is bootying. So they, you know, kind of say, well, I'm hourglass, because hourglass women also are curvy women. They sometimes have larger legs, but I feel like hourglass women are not as bottom heavy. They will have the thick thighs, they will have the big booty, they will have you know, hips and things like that, but it's all about proportions. They are a little bit more proportioned than us from top to bottom. We are a little bit unproportioned because of our bottom half. So we're just going to talk about some of the things that are flattering on us. I will be doing a video in the near future and we're going to talk about how you can make clothes flattering for a pear-shaped woman. So this video is not to say that you can't wear all of the things that you see other people wear. It's just about knowing what looks good on you first for you to be able to fashion it up and juice it up in the future once you know what looks good, so you can pair different things with those items to make them to make them look good. So that will be a future video, how to style things that society says is not flattering on our figures. But today we're going to focus on the things that are very flattering on us. But again, I always say wear what you want. That's what I do. I stick to that motto, wear what you want. It just took me a while to learn my body shape, what looks good on me, to be able to pair other items, you know, that would make that piece that is not as flattering still look good. So this is the basics. You have to have this first to know what actually looks good to be able to go to step 2. So we're going to talk about tops first. I'm going to be looking down because I got notes, child. I tell you, if I don't keep a note when it comes to informative videos, this video will be 2 hours long, child, and I'll just be rambling. So with tops, due to our shoulders not being as defined, you kind of want to make it look like you have a defined shoulders. So I always say shoulder pads, honey. Like, shoulder pads. Who doesn't love a good shoulder pad? Well, if you're pear shaped, you will love a good shoulder pad. People like apple shaped women, they tend to not like a lot of booth in their shoulders and shoulder pads and things like that, because apple shapes are very defined in the shoulders. We lack that. So shoulder pads are so wonderful on us, child. I would go for even a thicker shoulder pad because I have very dainty, not their shoulders. I hate my shoulders, but I don't hate them. It's just not one of my most flattering parts. But I would say shoulder pads. I would always say to go with something that has a little bit more volume at the top. So a puff sleeve, a poof sleeve. Y'all saw me buy a lot of that this summer, a lot of those items. So anything that has a little bit of volume at the top. Now, when it comes to volume, any type of poof sleeves, you have to be very careful with that. You don't want a poof sleeve that goes all the way down to the wrist, because it will still add more volume at the bottom half. So you want to at least stop halfway at the arm, at least above the elbow. You definitely want to stop there. I brought a couple of tops from bodysuits from, what is that, Fashion Nova, and they had puff sleeves. They're long sleeve, but I made sure the puff sleeve was only at a certain part, and then it's slender down to the wrist. That's what you want to do, because if you go with something that's poofed all the way down, it's just going to bring more emphasis to your bigger hips. You also want to go for colors. Anything that's bright in colors, anything that has pattern is going to draw the eye up. If you wear a whole bunch of dark colors, you know, and then you have on these dark jeans, it's I don't know, you just want to draw the attention to the top half of you, because that is the half that's a little bit more slender in the waist. The patterns and everything is just going to draw that attention in. You want to go for some things that are embellished, maybe things that have like bows or off the shoulders are really nice. What else? Boat necks are nice on us. Anything that has a deeper V, wrap style tops, those are really good for us. One shoulder tops are really nice. Square necks, anything that kind of draws the attention up, you know what I mean, anything that draws attention up. The off shoulders the off shoulder tops give us, you know, makes our shoulders have a little bit more definition, as well as the one shoulder type of looks. So that is what's going to give you a little bit more definition with the shoulders. Anything from the puff sleeves to the shoulder pads to having the off the shoulder, to give an illusion that the shoulders are a little bit broader. The embellishment is just bringing the eye in. So if I have like a whole bunch of necklaces on here, or like layered necklaces, or I have like a bow on my top, what is those called, like kitty cat bows that they have on the top, any type of embellishment down the v-neck, is just bringing the eye in. So you're not particularly paying attention to the shoulders, you're paying attention to this, which is lovely. Okay, my love, so with bottoms, so with your pants, your jeans, you definitely don't want to wear anything that's going to emphasize or put volume on your bottom half. So with bottoms, you have to be really careful. I have made mistakes for a very long time with choices that I have made for my pants. I might see things that look really nice on other women, or was very trendy at the moment, and I'll buy it, and those be things that I just don't like. I wind up having to send back, or if I keep it, those are items that I don't reach for as much, because when you are able to dress your body flatteringly, Is that a word? When you are able to flatter your body with certain clothes, those are going to be the ones that you pick up and reach for the most. So boot cut pants are a must for me. Boot cut pants are so good on us, you guys. Boot cut pants, palazzo pants, wide leg pants are very good on us. Now you kind of want to stay away from your tailored style pants, and I had to learn that. I love a good tailored pants, but they are not as good on us as per se how good they would look on an apple shape. But either way, those are the pants you kind of want to go for, kind of like your crop or your crop type pants, or what did they used to call them, kind of like gauchos or something style of pants. Those are really good because they give you a little bit of width or volume at the bottom of the pants. So with a boot cut, you know, the way it comes out at the bottom is giving you that proportion to your hips. So they look very nice. Your palazzo pants and your wide leg pants, they just flow, you know. So they are definitely more flattering on us. Even like the short crop, like gaucho type of pants, they still have a little bit of volume at the bottom, and it just proportions us very, very nicely. So those are the pants that I always try to go for. Those are the pants that I reach for the most in my wardrobe. And also don't forget about the waistline on the pant. I am so glad and so happy that high-waisted pants came in a few years ago, and they have stayed in. Those are the pants that I think are more flattering on us. Now I will say, being as though I have a short torso, they can be the jeans, not the pants, but the jeans sometimes can be a little bit uncomfortable because when they're too high and when you're sitting, they will press kind of like into your diaphragm. So you have to be careful too with your torso size. I'm short torso. If you have a regular size torso, you can wear them as high as you want, but I love a good high-waisted pant on any jean or any type of woman, because they hit us right close to the smallest part of our waist, and then they kind of graze over the hips depending on what style of pants you are wearing. So those are the pants that I would say to go for. The pants that just give you a little bit more volume at the bottom half of your legs. It definitely proportions out your hips. So yeah, a mid-size jean, a low-rise jean, I don't think it's for anybody after a certain age. But a medium rise jean sometimes can cut you off at your widest point, because again, for pear-shaped women, I'm not sure if I said this already in the beginning of the video, we do carry belly fat, but we carry it at the lower part of our stomachs. So don't think because you're pear-shaped you're not going to have a stomach. That's a misconception. We do carry belly weight, but we carry it normally towards the bottom half of our stomach. So when you get a mid-rise jean, it will sit like right there. You know, it will cut you off. So I would say high-rise jeans or high-rise pants all of the time. Not majority of the time. All of the time, sis. So with dresses, you definitely want to wear a dress that's going to put emphasis on the smallest part of your body, the most flattering part, which is the waistline. You don't want dresses that are really going to hug the thighs. You definitely want things that are going to skim over the thighs. So definitely your A-line dresses, and skirts too. So this is skirts and dresses in one. You definitely want to go for A-line dresses or skirts, or anything that is fit and flare, anything that's like a wrap dress, a wrap skirt. What are those called? I have a dress that I wore on my birthday, and it's not a wrap, but I can't think of what it's called. Tulip. Any type of tulip style dresses, those work very well too. But an A-line, honey, is the way to go. But definitely your fit and flares, and your fit and flares, your tulip styles, those look really nice on us because it doesn't put emphasis on our hips and our thighs. They kind of graze over. You know how you just get that and they kind of come out very, very pretty. They're going to hug the waist, even whether it's a skirt. If it's high-waisted, the fit and flares, they're going to come in a little tighter at the waist and just boof out anything that just doesn't add much volume to the dress at the bottom or the skirt at the bottom. And of course the wrap style dresses, because the wrap style dresses are good for top because it's giving you that kind of plunge line, showing a little bit of your chest area as well as grazing over the hips. You definitely want something to graze over. I know is like a misconception that pear-shaped woman and they love them a bodycon dress, and I still wear my bodycon dresses. Don't get it wrong. Your girl has bodycon dresses over here, but a lot of people feel like, oh, those are the dresses that we kind of go to. Yeah, sometimes you wanna show those curves, you wanna look bootylicious, but other times you just, you know, if you're a woman like me, I don't like showing. I always been that type of girl. I've been curvy all of my life. Even in elementary school, I used to be embarrassed because it gives off a lot of attention. So if you're that girl, you don't want people just turning and looking, and you kind of want those style of dresses because it just skims over the body. That type of skirt. Being sexy is not having to show a lot or everything being tight. Being sexy is just what you wear, how you wear, and your confidence level. So those are the type of skirts. The bodycon dresses are good, but it's going to put a lot of emphasis on your hips, your butt, and your thighs. So we'll talk about that in an upcoming video on how you can make it work. But these are the style of dresses and skirt that are always going to flatter, it's always going to look good, boo. It's going to look good. It's going to give. So it's still, even with it just skimming, it's still going to show your curves. It's definitely going to show that small waist. You're still going to be able to see that you have a curve, sis. So don't worry about that, because it's just skimming the body. It's not hugging. It's not over baggy or a lot of volume. It's just skimming over those curves, and you're going to be able to see from the front and the back. So for your layering pieces, and those are like your blazers and your cardigans and things like that. I love a good layering piece, especially in the fall and winter. It's a must. So with those type of items, you want to get something either cropped and something that's going to hit like at the smallest part of your waist, but definitely, you know, if it is a little bit of a longer crop, you definitely want it to hit above the hips. You don't want any type of blazer, cardigan, any layering piece that's going to hit you right at the hip. It's going to widen you out, and it's not going to be flattering. So I would say with especially with blazers, you want to get something that's longer lined. So you want to go for something that's going to hit you like maybe mid-thigh, but definitely under the hip. So that's the way you go with that. You don't want something too boxy. I have learned my lesson with that. I have a ton of blazers, and I have noticed now that I have learned my body, the boxier ones I don't reach for hardly ever anymore. So definitely want to have blazers that kind of more tailored in the waistline, so it's bringing you in a little bit. So be aware of the silhouette of these blazers. Make sure that it comes in a little bit, give you a little bit of shape. So, and definitely something that is a little longer line or something that is cropped. The same with cardigans. I have a ton of cropped cardigans. I never go for those longer hip or lower waist cardigans. I always get something cropped, or you can go with a longer cardigan. Again, the ones, the midi ones look better. The ones that's going to hit you either right at the mid-thigh, at the knee. Now, I don't really go for a lot of long line cardigans, because long line, they're boxy as well, the ones that are kind of maxi length. So it's a way, we'll talk about that in my next video on how you can make the long line work. But you definitely want to have something cropped when it comes to cardigans, when it comes to blazers, or something a little bit longer line. I'm not saying maxi longer line, maybe midi or mid thigh. So that is my take on your layering pieces. When it comes to coat, honey, y'all know I know coats. Y'all know I know coats. I have at least, what, over 20 coats in my closet. I have a ton of coats. The way and the thing that I always go for is a trench style coat. Anything that has a belt, that is our go-to for coats. I have so many trench style coats in my closet that it is ridiculous, to the point my husband like, babe, the rail is going to break. And I got a strong wood rail in that closet. But that is the style. I can have it in every color. That's how much I love a good trench style coat. And the trench style coats, I'm not talking about just like your cotton dad style type of trench coats that's been around for a long time. I'm talking about your wool style trench coats, your what's that, patent leather style trench coats, your tweed style trench coats, leather trench coats, anything that has a belt that you can pull and cinch your waist in is good. I prefer a midi length. You can still do a maxi, being so you still going to be cinching that waist, honey. So I would always say a trench style coat, anything with a belt. Now you can buy your overcoats and things like that, but I would say if it doesn't have a belt and you just love that style of coat, just go ahead and belt it. You know, just get it big enough to where so you can put a belt around it and you can still emphasize the waist. But that is the style of coat that I go for. Now you can do a crop coat. I don't normally do too many crop coats. I have crop jackets, and that's another thing when it comes to the jacket style. If you're going to get a moto style jacket, get something that's cropped. I have learned my lesson from getting longer line moto jackets. They just do not look right on me. Get something that's cropped. If you have just like a utility style jacket or a puffer jacket, get something that's cropped. Do not get it where it's going to hit you at your lower waist or hip. It is not going to be flattering. Now you can make it, just like I said, you can make anything look good if you know how to finesse. If you know how to finesse, boo, you got this. But what looks really good on us is the crop style. So with a coat, I normally don't go for crop styles because it's cold. I want to cover as much as I can. I like longer style coats. So I would say if you are into crop coats, go ahead and find you a nice crop coat. But I prefer crop jackets over coats. Girl, a belt is just going to set your whole look off. So those are my tips for what you should wear to flatter, you know, your figure. I'm pretty sure I had pictures showing here, there, and everywhere, so you can get an idea of what I'm talking about. But all right, my loves, I hope you enjoyed this one. Again, look, stay watching. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe, honey, because I'm going to do a part 2 showing you how you can wear some of those items that people may say look unflattering on us. So all right, if you stayed this long, please thumbs up the video as well, and let me know what you think. Let me know what you think, because you know everybody has their opinion on what looks nice on different shapes. So tell me what y'all think. All right, see you in the next one. Bye bye.